Before we go too far into this, let's just say welcome everybody to 2025. and,
Haro,
and welcome to Facebook and Speaking with Kate. And thank you, Mickey. How are you doing today?
you had to go there, did you?
We're doing wonderful.
I'm doing very well
Yeah.
now.
We're both doing great. Audrey, hi.
Hello, sweetie pie. How you doing? Oh, it's nice to know you're there, Audrey.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah.
We needed you today. We needed you today. We needed your energy and your presence.
Yes. Yes,
Ah,
absolutely. Yeah,
it's it's
it's
been a
been
challenge.
it's been a challenging year so far. Oh, she has the flu. Ah,
Oh gosh,
sending you much healing energy.
you're just sampling it and you're going to send it back.
Okay,
It's a time of challenges.
she's sending heart bubbles.
It's challenges in one way or another for just about everybody. And it's on different levels, depending on where in your chart Pluto happens to fall, because he's doing the Bookaloo.
This is bizarre. Do you know that I am on my iPad
Okay.
and I can't find us on live?
What?
Yeah, yeah. It's on my computer, but I can't find
Oh,
it on my iPad.
because I was going to say, Audrey, can you see us?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, there
Okay.
I refreshed a bunch of times and it finally did come up. So there we are.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, yes.
But I know Martin has trouble getting on
Yes.
and oh, I cannot watch this though. I can't do that. I'm going to turn it off. I thought that would be easier for me, but it's not. It's very distracting. Um,
Okay.
and I had to keep refreshing for it to come up. I thought it would just show up on my own page, but it did not. Crazy. Audrey said,
Ah,
thank you. Thank you.
thank you for being
Woo.
here. Thank you for being
Absolutely.
with us.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So yeah, it's been a challenging year already, and we're 13 days in.
Yeah.
We have a
Yeah.
we have a long year ahead of us. Um, and I want to say before we get to the end and after the, journey, sometimes I'm still a little out in woo-woo land. Oh, hi Carol. Carol's on. Hi Carol.
Hi, Carol.
I want to say that I will be out of town for the new moon. So,
Mm.
so we will not be doing a live because I just found out today that my iPad will not broadcast live to Facebook, nor will it record anything. So we're just going to skip the new moon, but I will try to put something out before that, either some directions or who knows, I might record something. It's hard to say,
Oh,
but
I was
but
going to
there'll be
say,
yeah, there'll be something.
we'll record a live and it won't be live. We'll record a live and then when you all see it, it won't be us actually sitting there. So,
There you go. That's
but
something.
it'll look like we are.
We'll do something before I leave.
Yeah.
So, but I just wanted everybody to know that the next time we do this like this, it will be the February full moon again. Um, Sandy, hello, welcome.
Yeah.
So that I didn't realize the iPad had so many limitations. So I was not happy
Interesting.
about that. Yeah, very much so. I mean, and I had to update it. I had to do a lot of work, and that's what I was doing prepping. And I thought, oh, I'm just going to do it from the iPad this time, and I could not record it, and I couldn't go live on Facebook. So unless we want to move to YouTube, which I'm not ready to test that out this time, so we're just gonna say skip it. Lee, how are you? Love you too.
Hello.
Happy New Year.
Hello, Lee. Carol, have you had a challenging day too? Like we have?
I'll let you know if she types something.
Okay.
I
All
wish,
right.
you could have a hand up or something or whatever, but so we've got Audrey with the flu,
Well, on Zoom, you can have a hand up.
but they're not on Zoom. They're on Facebook.
Oh, I see. Yes, you're
Only you
right.
and me are on
We're
Zoom.
on
See,
Zoom.
see if
They're
I
on.
do that, look at my little hand is up. See that?
Yeah. Yeah. Duh. Pay
Um,
me no mind. I am not alive.
Carol says, not a challenge here.
Oh,
I'm not sure if that's a little,
interesting.
good for you, Carol. Carol and
New
I went
States.
Saturday and we did a healing bath, a sound healing bath. It was very, very nice. Our friend Sunshine ran it. It's the first time I met her. Nice girl.
Okay.
So, yeah. Well,
They
good.
don't work. They have not worked well for me. I enjoy it,
Mhm,
but I don't get a whole lot of results from it. I simply really enjoy it, like I enjoy music, period. But
mhm, mhm.
it's something I have to work on because I haven't really put much into it. You
Well,
know,
my very first strong spiritual experience was during a drum sound meditation.
oh,
And it was drum along with language of light. And it was the most deepest I have ever been. They
well, I don't even think about drumming as a sound bath.
Drumming was a part of this one. It was a very small
Okay,
part, but it was a part of it.
right. I mean, when I consider drumming, then it's a thing of its own because I'm used to thinking of it in an African context. You know, I was in an African religion,
Mhm,
and drumming was a very big part of it. Every ritual had a lot of drumming, and you had
mhm,
different kinds to accomplish different vibrations, to put you in a certain head.
mhm.
So I'm very, very sensitive to any kind of drumming. Puts me right out.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. And
Yeah, I do
eh,
too.
yeah, and I'm not the best beat keeper for a long meditation. I'm good in the short term, but I need more practice.
Mm. Yeah,
But
I got really, really deeply into it. But then we were performing all the time, every week and so forth, doing,
hmm
we had drummers that were accompanying us. And so it became a thing. We got into it too.
nice.
But I wasn't the one drumming whenever we were actually performing. We had the guys who were professionals behind
hmm
us. It was profound. The effect is amazing.
It is the deepest I've ever gone was during drumming, and it was just drumming. And I love language of the light too, even though it's different for different people.
Hmm. Well, drumming is has so much to do with your heartbeat. The
Absolutely.
body receives it so well because it's got drumming going on 24/7.
So Lee has been with me a very long time. She's been with me almost as long as I've owned this building. And
Whoa!
and she just said to me, "You had drumming in your red tent and chimes in those workshops. Loved it."
Oh yes, I love chimes.
Yeah. But,
I hope to get one. I want one of those big a gong like.
a gong. So there was a gong at this, and and I enjoyed the gong part very much. Now, as Lee's talking about, what I used to do in the past, it's been 4 or 5 years since I've
Right.
done any kind of work here. I've been living here.
Mm-hmm.
So things have changed, and some of my skills have gotten sharper, and some of them have gotten duller. Drumming would be the duller one. So, but yeah, we can pick it right up.
I was
Well,
thinking about that and about the fact that certain things that you were so used to doing Now I'm thinking 24 years ago, since I've done a lot of the stuff I was really, really into, and I've spent the last 24 years coming way down from that super, super active in the new age and doing this and doing that and the festivals and going to all the spiritual stuff.
Hmm.
But my spirituality has drastically simplified, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
So I don't find it necessary to do a lot of the stuff that I use to get me into a certain spiritual head, spiritual mindset, to create a certain atmosphere within which to be all inspired and spiritual. But now it's very quiet. It's the simple matter of intending to do whatever, be whatever, experience whatever. And this is a different way of doing it. I like it.
It is. It is simpler and it's quicker. I mean, it's a lot of good things. Now, do I enjoy going to those things and participating when other people are leading them? Absolutely. I don't feel the need to be the one in charge anymore. I'm just here to enjoy life. Really.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I have been admonished often, like even today, I mean, yesterday and today and the day before. It's a constant message that's coming through to me that is helping me to get more simpler and simpler. It's kind of hammering it into my head. You do not have to do anything except breathe, and you are being spiritual. You are being whatever you're supposed to be. And if you want to just simply take your hands off the wheel and allow your higher self to drive. We spend a lot of time learning to go into trance and meditating. What we're doing is reaching out for our higher self and talking to it and getting information and so forth, when actually we could just say, okay, as we say in the culture, Jesus, take the wheel.
I know the old Southern ladies always said that. Jesus, take the wheel.
In this case, it's higher self, take the wheel.
Of course.
I mean, if I want to do this and do that, the astrology and the tarot and the meditation and the song and those crystal bowls and whatever particular activity you're in, that's just fine. But also, if you're not, it's not that you are any less spiritual. You can't be more spiritual or less spiritual. You are a spiritual being who is here, so that spiritual being is here being human. It's not the other way around. So,
Yeah. Now,
okay.
wouldn't the world be different if we were told that as children instead of the other way around? Like, what a different world it would be. I want to ask people on Facebook, how do Mickey and I sound? I want to make sure that the sound is okay, especially on Mickey's part, because she has been doing some channeling work and she has some writings that she's actually going to read because she wants to make sure that she gets it word for word. So I just want to make sure that her voice is coming through okay. I had to boost my sound up a little bit because you were getting quiet and then loud again. So there was a little bit of up and down going on. I just want to see how the people are hearing it. Are we sounding okay to everybody? Carol, Lee, Sandy.
Because
Sandy says it's fine. You're a little bit softer.
that's because I had it very much further away from me,
Okay. Okay.
and I've just pulled it in close. So this
Good.
is how
Okay.
I normally do it. Does that sound better?
All right. Audrey said she raised her sound also. So, okay, so I'm just checking on this.
Okay.
You sound perfect now, Mickey, to me. Is everybody good?
Well, what I received was a clarification of what I think spiritually. I was defining, what do I believe? I was working with beliefs and stuff. And then I thought, wait a minute, let me just really specifically define, what do I believe? What do I think? Because beliefs change almost daily, depending on how much work you're doing and blah, blah, blah. Things that you are, what you're functioning on, that you're, fueling your everyday will change. Your beliefs change, and so will your life as you change them. So, especially since I have added other things to the feed that I'm getting as a spiritual person, for the last 50 years, I have been absolutely exclusively Seth. And every now and then I might hear a little bit of Esther Hicks, but basically it was Seth, Seth, Seth. And oh God, if you tried to suggest anything else for me to even look at, I was like, oh no, I'm into Seth. So I've stopped being uh,
A Seth
a Seth
snob.
star. Yes. And for the last year, I'd say, I've gotten very deeply into Bashar as well. And what I'm feeling that prompted me to clarify everything was that I was getting the feeling that Bashar was so clear, and it reminded me, I like it because it reminds me of Seth so much. And I was trying to weigh the two things and get them comfortable, trying to try them both on and see what is comfortable within it. So I started by defining, what did I think God was? And I'm so used to Seth saying all that is, because to me that makes a lot more sense, because it is, there isn't anything else. And once I started to really understand that, the more I really literally understood the more I understood how literal it is, then the easier my quest was becoming, and the more at home I was trying to find myself within the spiritual world and so forth. So as I sat down to clarify for myself, I thought, well, I'm going to write this down and I can look at it and edit it and change it as my beliefs change, etc. Because they were ideas that had come to me several times in the last months or so of meditating. And that is, all that is, I call it ATI, all that is can only act like the infinite being that it is. People often ask me to, quote, do their chart once they find out I'm an astrologer. And I have spent the last 10 years avoiding doing charts in the traditional sense. This is because of the natural evolution of my study of the New Age. And in my wild and crazy hippie days, that's what I was doing. I was really, really gung-ho. So this is not to say that there's anything wrong with the study of astrology per se. What I have discovered, however, is that it is a functioning system, like many other systems in life. That is just a system that works if you study it and work within it and so forth. And you can work within any major religion or, you know, um, educational system or banking system or whatever group of organized ideas you want to use to explore a certain idea realm. So it's a functioning system like other systems. This includes every major and minor religion. You could say the same thing about each country's government. Every organized system of thought and function in our world is merely one of the systems that we agreed to program into this reality before we arrived in it. It's an important part of how we set up each time frame. Right. So here is where we need to make sure we fully understand the truth of that. Haha. We did indeed set up each lifetime that we take part in. And in order for each of these time frames and lifetimes to play out successfully, we had to include predetermined systems within which to operate our lives. It does not mean that a system is wrong or invalid. It simply means that each particular system is part of what was needed to create a valid experience through what we're doing, to create a valid experience through. And I said for over hundreds of billions of souls, because there are now 8 billion all here functioning at the same time. This is a big difference from, say, Neanderthal times when there were not that many by any means. So when you hear different ones, channelers and stuff saying, oh, well, people, the souls are just lining up to come here. They want to come to Earth and they want to experience physical life and human life because it's so challenging. Yeah, there's now 8 billion all sharing a now instead of the number that there was before. So, with that in mind, we go through life acting out the contracts that we've set up by participating in these systems we outlined as part of this life experience. And the more I began to understand the actual attributes of all that is, the less and less I needed the comfort of being within a particular system. It doesn't invalidate the. I think I hear someone at the door, so I will leave you to for a second because I've got to answer the door. Sorry.
Go ahead. Well, isn't this fascinating? So while Mickey's thoughts are on all that is, it's so much how Seth talked and how Marco Governality wrote in his book that is called, oh my gosh, it's right there. It is God Always Says Yes. God always says yes. But it is how everything is all that is. And all that is infinite and it's good and it's experiencing everything at this moment right now. Just like, she ordered food and it came to the door. And before you guys got here, she said, oh, I hope it gets here soon before the meditation. And look at that, it happens just that way.
Ah,
Was that your food? Good.
okay. Now, as I was saying, the more I began to understand the actual attributes of all that is, the less and less I needed the comfort of being in a particular system. So it doesn't invalidate the functionality of the system or the truth of what is operating in the system. It simply provides me with an overview of the system that allows me to decide if I still want to participate in it. You can stop at any point. You can take the needle off whatever record or contract you signed and say, nope, I want to change and do this. I want to change and go that way. It's easily adjusted contract. That gives me the knowledge that I have that choice, participate or not. It's up to me, and it's not required. By the way, this does make it slightly more difficult to work within the system of medicine, for instance. I came to understand the function and role of a doctor. I learned that it is only with my own permission for him to represent my ability to heal myself. He's not doing it, I'm doing it. But I use him as the symbol for the way that I'm going to project these things back to me. Keeping in mind that everybody in your life is you. Okay. So
That's a big concept.
Hey, I've been glossing over that. That's another one we can talk about. But I've given this person permission to play that role for me. And so it mirrors back what my intention is. The more I follow his advice, etc., and do whatever they're saying. That's a system that I'm in this lifetime. On this planet, we use doctors. So I'm reading that script. So you may wonder then why I even bothered to become an astrologer, especially since it takes a large amount of study to do well at it. I believe the years I spent studying astrology benefited me by illustrating the very nature of reality. And that's another big concept because it is a microcosm of the universe within it. So, those years that I spent studying it benefited me by illustrating the nature of reality. And therefore, it was also teaching me a lot of the truth about the nature of all that is and the structural makeup of reality, created by God, of course. It is also true that these studies inform me that every system mirrors the nature of all that is. All the systems do that. So, why is that? Because system after system mirrored that same truth over and over again, no matter what system I studied. After a while, I began to question, how is it possible for everything to have the same structure, the same mirror image of an internal structure within infinity? I personally believe that the reason had to be that absolutely everything in existence mirrors the nature of all that is. And I will say that again. Everything in existence mirrors the nature of all that is. How could it be possible for even the disastrous events to still mirror all that is? How could the various entities that we experience here on earth as historical figures that do abominable things, how could that show the nature of all that is? How could we have systems that include figures like Satan and the devil and the Hitlers and the Mansons and the whatever, etc.? Well, that has to be because the very title of all of ATI is all that is. Now, there's no other way to put it. It says all. So if you label something as bad, that's your problem. You're doing that because the nature of all that is everything. It includes everything. Now, you may need years to study and figure out how that works. What's the context here? But even those whom we consider detrimental or frightening people must be part of how reality was meant to be structured. We only need the negative experiences and imagery to help us understand the dual-sided example of how much is included in this huge system that we call our reality. So, and this is going to require a good bit of thought as we go forth weeks and months from now. But to say it another way, it's not possible for all that is to be anything except all that is. That's because there isn't anything else besides all that is. And if you can even define any, quote, bad thing or bad person or negative thing, then you're automatically describing something that's part of all that is. It's not a question of whether or not it's part of it. That's because there isn't anything that isn't part of it. So if you can even mention or describe a thing, it means it's automatically part of all that is. There's a positive reason for absolutely everything, large or small, that crosses your path during this lifetime. We may not be ready to admit that easily. When something happens that we are not happy about, we are quick to automatically think of it as outside of our concept of God or all that is, or as part of anything ATI approved to happen to us, since we are the well-loved subjects of divine creation. Still, for most of us, though, most of us further along in our upward path, There must be a positive reason for the negative circumstance that was presented. That's because there is no other agenda except that we will continually grow and evolve, and eventually we will become more and more just like all that is. The good part we like to talk about, not those other parts that we refuse to accept being part of all that is. Everything actualized by all that is has no choice but to become perfection during the process of each life it leads. Each existence it enjoys as it evolves ever higher and higher over many lifetimes and incarnations in eternity. This may literally take millions and billions of existences on levels within the vast universe. We have so little idea of how vast it actually is. It's within all more modern times that we are learning more about how the universe is constructed, and therefore beginning to even accept the idea that multiple existence or plural lives can happen. We are usually taught to think of as being outside the current religious systems in the West. There isn't anything outside. Many of the religious systems in the Far East already understand the cyclical nature of our life here on this plane. It's no accident when one is born into a particular system or religion or otherwise. Every life has been placed exactly where it needs to be in order to realize the completion of the contract in play for that lifetime. I'm so grateful to be aware that this lifetime I'm living now includes my current knowledge of all that is. Keep in mind that there are literally billions of other versions of me living other lives that don't include this particular clear vision of all that is. Plus, every one of those other versions of me will eventually also learn so many things that I can't even imagine. This particular version of myself has its boundaries, but then there are other versions of me that have different boundaries. I'm sure that there are millions of higher levels of myself that I will be as I continue to evolve. And again, I'm so very grateful for this life. And that's the start. The only reason I'm here today doing what I'm doing and making these Zoom broadcasts is to share because I feel a passionate desire to be part of any process that can add to your positive experience of evolving higher. So it's my intense hope that that some of it will interest you enough for you to actually consider editing your current thoughts. I'm going to talk about that too. Editing your current thoughts to include awareness of your own importance in the hierarchy of souls that are evolving higher and higher. So, to bring it down to the bottom, there was a good reason to go through the supposedly bad time you saw or had because you're evolving higher and higher, and those times will change with each thing you learn to understand. Just remember though, there isn't anything you can do that leads away from all that is. And we'll have to chew on that too. Thanks for being patient.
I love that last line. Love that last line. Yes,
It's all in that last line,
it is. It is.
because that's where we argue with the religions.
And I am so grateful that I was here to hear and understand and learn from the Seth material and the Bert Goldman material and Judy Snyder teaching me
Yeah,
Reiki and
yeah.
all of the metaphysical teachers that I've had, Dolores Cannon with the QHHT. I mean, these people were setting the stage and giving us the underground, the background to move forward.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes. They were prompts for
Yeah,
our spirit, you
right.
know, whichever one of us would be in the moment. There's a whole slew of folks around us that are all helping us be that. They're all helping us to roll around within what we defined as ourselves this time, and they're helping prod us and hold us together and pat us down when we need it.
Right.
But there's a whole bunch of other souls that are assigned to each of us to help us. But many people, a high percentage of people, neither acknowledged or know about all the help and support that's actually there. It's just that you have to ask. That's the
Hmm.
thing. They cannot offer to do anything you don't initiate because you're driving.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Now, we're so fortunate because we have this kind of support, whether it be from the Seth community or the Bert Goldman community or the Speaking with Kate community.
Yeah.
Um, there are so many people out there that don't have that community, but they are growing in their own way with their own agenda. Like Mickey said, it's a different agenda than her agenda, but it's still all that is. They are all that is. You are all that is. We are all one.
That's all that there
That
is.
That's right. Nobody ever calls God part of all that is.
You don't say this piece of God,
This
this
piece of God,
part of God.
right.
You always just
Absolutely.
say God.
Yeah. Or
It's
universe
infinite.
or yeah. But all that
And
is
I
in
have
a
also
great way.
gotten used to not saying he. God does so and so. He, he, or she. It's not a he or a she. So
It's
I'm trying to wean myself from thinking of it in a human context of duality and dual sex. It's all
right.
that
That's
there is
that's why all that is sounds right to me because
to me.
saying it always felt very just not very kind,
Unanimated.
Yeah, it just felt wrong. So all that is encompasses everything. I mean, the rocks, the trees, the blades of grass, the little insects, and they're certainly experiencing nature and reality far different than we are. Yeah.
And I often wonder what it's like for them. What are they seeing? What are they doing? What are they feeling? It's so different.
Oh, yeah. Just think about a little ant and you walking across the ground. He must feel like there's an earthquake every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it goes again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly. And has no idea what it is
Yes.
because his point of view is so different than what our point of view is. And,
Yeah.
somebody from, I don't know, ancient times, their point of view is very different than our point of view, but they're our ancestors. They are us.
Yeah.
So we're here growing together, and I just think we're in an amazing time of growth right now, where
I,
we're being allowed to know that it's happening, to experience it with a knowing, not just
that is
letting things happen to us.
that is so special. That's
Hmm.
uh that's a big one.
Thank you, Mickey. I mean, Mickey works so hard on getting prepped for these talks. She works for 2 weeks to be ready for this day.
Edit, edit, edit.
Thank you so much. I just work on a little meditation.
Well, that's no little thing.
Well, so what I
You're
have
just
in
leading this merry band of souls into a deep trance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And what I'm going to do with this one, and a few people on here have already experienced it somewhat. I have altered the last meditation I did, so I want to do channeling. I really
Ah,
want everyone to be able to reach out and make friends with their higher self, or
Yes.
or higher self, or their angels, or their guides, or their spirit beings, whatever you want. I don't You can make friends with God, the big all
Yes.
that is, you know
Yes.
use whatever language feels good to you. Higher self is what I'm using. When I did the meditation the last time, I used the Seth consciousness because
Right.
it was a Seth group. This group, I would like to expand that a little bit more, but it's a very similar meditation.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Well,
I
channeling
mean,
is something we can all do, and it's a wonderful practice. And I try to do it most every morning. Yeah. So
I like that.
think we're ready for this.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Now I would like for everybody to just relax. Get into a place where you can just lay back, support your head, get comfortable, and close your eyes. And we're going to use the 3 to 1 count. You're all familiar with that. You will take a deep breath, and on the exhale, you will mentally say to yourself and see the numbers as I repeat them. Ready? 3, 3, 3. 2, 2, 2. 1, 1, 1. We are now in a deeper, more relaxed state of mind. With every in-breath you take, you go deeper and deeper. Relax your eyes. Relax your lips, your jaw. Relax your head, your neck. Relax your body. Relax your arms and hands. Relax your legs and feet. It is a wonderful feeling to be completely relaxed. You are relaxed now. Now repeat mentally with me. My body rests and refreshes itself when I consciously relax. I'm relaxed now. Every day, I improve my image of myself. My self-esteem. I am a unique human being. There is no one else on earth exactly like me. Each day, I grow stronger in the realization that I can. I can think. I can create. I can channel. I can do. I am in control of my attitude. I am in control of my reality. Relax. All reality begins in your mind with your thoughts and imagination. The energy and vibration of a positive, safe, loving reality generates relaxed, satisfied vibrations and energies within you. These energies and vibrations help you with all your activities. You are aware and comfortable with your higher self energy. You don't expect to hear or see anyone else's entity, only your higher self, and you can use your own language for that. Relax. Now, I want you to think about opening channels, raising your vibration to accept transmissions from the highest consciousness. Ask for the highest consciousness to join with yours. Welcome this consciousness. You may ask questions such as, what may I call you? What do you have to tell me today? What do you have to show me today? Now I'm going to give you longer to ask this next question. What am I to learn from you today? thank you for the teachings and the images that you have given me. Now I'm going to ask that you take the time to heal any parts of this physical body for my highest and greatest good. And again, I will give a few minutes for this. All right. Thank you so much for that healing energy. And now is the time to thank the energy that joined with you. It's a wonderful feeling that we can call on these beings and interact with them, hug them, speak with them. You can even join with them, merge with them, gaining their vibration that is of the highest. Now is time to bring your focus back into this room, remembering all that you have seen and heard so you can recall at a later date. Coming back into this room, into this body. You are aware there are people present during this transmission. You are beginning to wake up now. You may stretch. You may wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you are ready, take a deep breath in and out. And another deep breath in and out. And now you can open your eyes and join us in this transmission. And I want to thank personally each and every one of you for sharing in this time with us. And there I am, and there's Mickey. Hi. Oh.
That was a long way.
Well, I would like to invite everyone that is on live or otherwise, that if you want to share any experiences you had, feel free to do that. It is a safe space. If you would like to share anything, Mickey, and channeling is very personal. So if you don't want to share, that's okay too. I would just like to know, did it work for people? Were
That's
you able to
wonderful.
get anything?
That's wonderful. But mine was very, very personal, so I'm
Mhm.
not going to do it. But
And and
yes,
that, and that happens.
it's a lovely method. I enjoy it.
It's simple and it's quick. I mean, Yeah,
Yeah, it seemed very much shorter.
it was.
Okay. It
It was.
wasn't just me. Okay.
Wasn't just you. And it's one of those that if I give too much time in between, you actually go so deep that you don't get the rest. And
Mm,
sometimes that's good. You know, I've been doing many of those where I leave you alone to go deep, deep, deep. Uh,
yeah.
but to remember to what you're channeling or to ask specific questions if you're new to it. If you're a veteran and you know how to do that on your own.
Yeah.
But for new people that are doing this, I find that not leaving too much lag time is good. When I learned, this was mostly from Bert Goldman, and he probably gave 1 to 2 minutes. And sometimes I remember thinking, "Oh, that's not enough time. There's
Wow.
more." But then it would continue later on. So when you're opening these channels, you're opening channels that are going to last for several days. Now, Sandy, she senses the presence of her team, but don't see them. I also use writing as a way to channel and communicate with you. Beautiful, Sandy. I also do automatic writing. I love that.
That's what mine was. Yeah.
And you know, you can do automatic writing, typing, you can set a voice recorder, and during these transmissions, it's ideal because the people on Facebook or YouTube aren't being recorded at all. So you
Right.
could record your own things and know what's being said. And you can go back to these meditations anytime you like. I try to put them up the very same day. I will try to have this one up tonight.
I
Thanks,
find
Sandy.
going over it and going over it, going back to it, in other words, um,
Mhm,
with channeling, it helps tremendously. And like you say, it needs to be short at first because you need to get used to going in there,
mhm.
making the connection, and coming back out. And and you do that over and over. Because when you said Bird's thing was 2 or 3 minutes, and I thought, well, I don't remember it that way. But actually, Jose Silva's way was to just you do it, you get down there into trance, and then he bring you right out, and you do it over again.
3 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
earlier today, what came across my memories on Facebook was Bert Goldman's Daisy Pond.
Really?
And I posted that on my page. So it's not on Speaking with Kate, but it's on the Kate Favada page.
Mm,
Um, it is one of the most beautiful meditations that I have ever done. I go back to it time and time again. So if anybody wants to see that, it is on my page. It was right up, well, now it'll be below this. Um, and what else? What else did I want to say about that? I don't remember. Oh, I know. What I wrote kind of got skewed while I was, so it wasn't exactly what I wrote. Um, the healing seemed very, very important. And Audrey, I hope that your higher self gave you everything you needed. I'm sure that they did.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a continuous thing too. For me, I found that you may not be formally doing a connecting channel, but once you've opened it, then it will at times, if it's really important, it will open itself and you will be in contact and hear whatever was intended and then come back out. So I guess it's sort of like you gave them permission to contact you.
I think Seth really talked about it as a vortex.
Yeah,
Once you have made that vortex connection, it is always there. And
yeah, I
whether
find
it
that.
be a location or to another being, and it makes it easier to always make that connection. So it's kind of like having your phone and persons on speed dial. So that's like
Exactly,
we're setting up speed dial here.
exactly.
Speed dial to spirit.
Emotional speed dial.
Yeah, I love it. Audrey, I asked for it and received. I'm
Oh,
so happy,
great.
Audrey. I hope you feel better. Audrey has the flu.
Oh,
Had.
yeah.
Had.
I will definitely put you in my meditation this evening, Audrey, and send you some more energy and stuff. Yeah, because
Sandy
the
said
flu is
yes.
miserable.
Yeah.
Quite miserable. So.
Lovely. Audrey, were you able to get any information and teaching from your guides, your higher self, or images? She gave a big heart.
Good.
Um, Lee, if you're still on, just want to know if you've got anything. And Carol, I think those are the only people that have, that I know for sure. Um, oh, no messages. Okay.
That was nice. That was very nice.
Sandy says the connection is there anytime she thinks about them. Beautiful. Audrey got an orange sun symbol.
Mm,
Nice.
all right. I know you can relate to that, Miss Leo.
I could, and all I could think of was that's very sacral chakra. Beautiful. Beautiful. So full moon. Last night when I walked the dog, the moon was just spectacular in the sky. It was so beautiful. And there were like rays that were like shooting out from it. It was so beautiful. And it was pretty high in the sky. So, so it wasn't like it was super close to us, but it was beautiful. Carol got nature scenes.
Yes,
Beautiful.
yes,
Nice.
that's
Very
nice.
nice. So the
Very nice.
full moon is actually later today. One woman thought the meditation was going to go from 1:30 until then. Um, that would be a very long time.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I'm trying to look at when. So it's actually for New York time, it's at 5:27 this evening. So
Which is now
around
for you. Yeah.
5:30. Yeah. So it'd be what, 10:30 for you, Mickey, where you are?
It's, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, But yeah, put your crystals out in the moonlight. This is a great time to cleanse them. And it's nice to just, even though it's cold, just go out and walk in that moonlight a little bit. Just if it's in your backyard, just poke your head out, or just out a window. You don't even have to go outside. Just
Yeah.
look, gaze up at it from a window. Lee
Beautiful.
said, I will write later. My writing that I just wrote clicked to a different reel. It was a great experience for me. I feel I actually got something that I never felt. I was
Mm,
walking dunes, and for a while I felt like I was out for a while.
mm.
So
Well, that,
that's interesting because this one was one of the shortest ones I've ever done.
yeah, it was. I was aware of that when you started bringing us out, and I thought that was great.
Well,
That's all I know, you
right.
know.
As we become more versed in what we're doing, we can extend the periods longer and longer.
Mhm.
If people know what they want to be asking, and they don't need the prompting, right? So that's what it's about. It's the prompting.
Well, the more we do it, I'm sure that by now there are a lot of people who know exactly how we do the same going into and coming out of. So you can put anything you like in the middle, but you now know the process of getting in and getting out. And then it's up to you what you stick in the center of that and what you're asking about once you're over there, you know, because
Right.
that's what I do. I mean, earlier I was throwing my hands up and screaming and tearing my hair out as I told Kate, I have insomnia's mama.
It's been days, Mickey. Days. I mean,
I
I know you nap here and there, but a long stretch of sleep is
have a
elusive.
nice long sleep in the bed. No, I sit there and I tried so hard to make it, official. I actually got in the bed and you just lay there like a log and go, I'm wide awake. Why I can't sleep. And then you say, I said, because I'm trying to sleep in the middle of the day. It was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's like, well, why are you surprised you can't sleep when it's in the middle of the sunshine?
Mhm.
So, and I got up, tore the house up, and went through every drawer in the dresser trying to find this beautiful satin blindfold that I had for sleep. Can't find it. So I got back in the bed and said, all right, so you can have it. You'll never guess how I got my blindfold.
Oh, oh, there you go. Good for
And it
you.
was perfect. I
Okay.
just had it on this side, but I blacked out completely.
Okay. Good, good. I never would have thought of that.
I mean, but that was one of the first things I was told,
Okay.
you know. That
Yeah.
was a very interesting meditation this afternoon. Now,
Interesting.
I must reiterate, it didn't put me to sleep, but I had a lovely meditation. So, no, I have not been to sleep.
Oh, well, I hope you can sleep well tonight. And I suggest you listen to the Daisy Pond.
Right?
Yeah. And if you can't find it on my page, you can just go into YouTube and type in Bert Goldman Daisy Pond and it will come up. He
Oh,
always
I
gave
took out
that
my Silver
freely.
Mind book.
There you
I put
go.
on the official oh God, it's so dog-eared and brittle.
Yeah. So, and I've heard his original recording, and there is a frequency that plays in the background. It is not in this more current, more modern one. I can't find a recording that I can replay of that old one.
I had a copy of that after taking the course. And then after I've been all over this country, that country, etc., it got lost somehow. So I got back in touch with them and said that I needed another copy because they promise you can take the course again anytime you like. Once you pay for it, you can take it for the rest of your life at any place or whatever.
Mhm.
And they swore they couldn't find any record of me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Since I couldn't prove I'd ever taken it,
Huh.
which is crazy because I took it in headquarters in New York. So,
Right, right. So
but
when
anyway,
I
that
took,
metal sound, kicky, kicky,
yeah,
kicky, kicky,
yeah,
and it, of course, because they used that when I learned it, it's real important for me to be able to find it again. It
exactly.
immediately puts me in. Can't
Mhm.
get a copy of it. Can't
Yeah.
get my hands on it.
Well, so when I took the training from him, it was not Silva, it was Bert Goldman's quantum jumping. And actually back then he called it PDQ, which stood
Right.
for not pretty darn quick, but let's see, what was it? Pretty deep connection? I don't remember. I don't remember what PDQ stood for. Um,
Interesting.
I don't remember now because I
I'm
always
going
think
to
pretty darn
Google it.
quick.
Bert Goldman's PDQ.
Well, I know if I go back and listen to it, it says it in the very beginning. But anyway, it doesn't have the same background sound that Mickey's talking about. And I've heard a part of that on the Silva training, but not on the Daisy Pond. And then Bert kind of partnered with oh, what is that company? Vishnu. Mm, um, oh gosh, I can't think of the name of it now. Well, anyway, all of the Burt Goldman recordings then went over to this other company. I can't remember the name of them. And then they changed the sound of his meditations completely. Mind
What?
Valley. Hallelujah, Penny. That's it. Mind
Okay.
Valley. I
That
remembered
was a
Vishnu.
good point.
Mind Valley. Yes,
I
yes.
took that too. I have all of their recordings.
Yeah, yeah.
Those really put you under.
Yeah, yeah. But Bert was the first meditation teacher I had after my Reiki teacher. And he taught me so much. I didn't even know what he was teaching me. I was doing it and it was working, but I didn't
Mhm.
really even understand what I was doing until I started learning the Seth material. And I'm like, oh. Doppelganger. Oh, that's just me, another me, a probable self.
Hmm.
And I remember the girl that was doing the teaching, she's like, this is the hardest part for people to get. I'm like, I've been doing this for years. But it was an entirely different way, a different method. Look up Bert. He's great. I'll put links in here. I'll put links to his Daisy Pond and all.
Yeah. There are so many methods out there, and to, today, everybody on the block is a coach. So, but the really, really important ones, like Williamson and Bashar and Goldman and Silva and so forth, Dolores Cannon, there's the top of the top,
Hmm.
and they are all saying the same thing.
They are. Yep. Yep. For sure.
I love that. I mean, it took many, many years for me to run into them all. But now, on the other side of 50 years spent, they're all saying the same thing. So, okay, that must be what's really happening because they've all gone to the other side and come back with the same message.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just have to guess that different people are going to resonate with different vibrations, and eventually they all do come to the realization that we are all at one and we are a part of all that is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And when I run into folks who don't want to hear about it, et cetera, I just simply realize, okay, you're not at that spot on the path. You are doing what you're supposed to be doing, and it's not for me to try and pull you off and say, no, but you got to go here. No, but no,
Right.
you
Right.
do you, boo.
That's right. They're just learning a different way. Right. And
Yeah,
that's why I say to people, I had Jehovah Witnesses came to my door the other day, and they wanted to show me Jesus. And I'm like, Jesus is a friend of mine. I said, I'm good. And oh, well, we want to recite some Bible verses to you. And I'm like, that I'm not good with. I'm like,
right.
that's just people's memories. I'm like,
You have to do
I
what you want to
right. I had a personal, interaction. So I'm good. And that's where I told them to thanks, but no thanks.
do.
But that I didn't tell them it wasn't right for them. It wasn't
Right,
right for me.
exactly.
Like
Exactly. That's the
in
crux of it.
religion, there is something for everyone. And
So that if you're not doing it their way, then you're damned.
right. And that's just
Literally, you are the devil. You're no, this is it. This is the only way. My goodness, as big as God is and made the whole of the heavens, and you think that we on this tiny little planet have the only way. Right. Okay, well you
they're
go
missing
ahead.
that word all.
You enjoy that. I'm gonna be over here doing something else.
Exactly. Well, I want to thank everybody for ringing in the new year with us, and I will miss you all on the new moon, but we'll have something for you. And then Mickey and I will see you live again in February for the next new moon. No, full moon. I'm sorry. The next
Right.
full moon. I don't even know that I wrote it down, so I don't even know when it is. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't. I don't know. I will make
We'll do something and it will be whatever it's supposed to be.
that's so true because it can't be anything else. I love it. And then the first Sunday of every month, I do Seth Talk over on Discord. So if anybody has any interest in joining us there, um, drop me a direct message and I will give you instructions. All righty.
Yeah, I'm finally straight.
It's always a pleasure, Mickey.
Well, I mean, I had such trouble getting into Discord and getting it to work right, and I'm finally cool. I got it. Okay.
Good. Well, part of the thing is if you are not a member of Discord, it's to become a member first, then
Right.
join our group. So we've had people that have gotten on, and once they got on, they realized they already had a account Now they have two accounts. Now they're confused and, blah,
Hmm.
blah, blah. I ended up with two accounts, so did you.
Yes.
And there was another woman that I got on, and she had two accounts. So it's not a difficult thing to navigate if you have only one account. But so what I would do is check your computer, see if Discord's already there. If it's there, chances are you have an account already.
Yeah. It's working okay for me now.
All righty. Well, Mickey, I think it's time to say bye-bye again, because you've got dinner waiting for you.
Well, it's funny because now I'm not hungry.
Well, you can always warm it up.
Exactly. It's
All right.
going in this way.
Okay, good. Well, you get a good nap
I
and
got all that I needed from all that is.
oh, I love it. I love it. And we will see you all in February. Bye.
Everybody, thanks for being here.
Thank you.